Hi, my name is Dr. Olubukola Akoni. Welcome to the Diary of Adolescent Soul. My topic today is intentional parenting with the brain in mind. Let's take a trip down the memory lane. Why do past events have an impact on the present? What effect does our experience have on our minds and how we parent? Let's also talk about how memories are formed. Neurons are nerve cells that communicate with one another via electrochemical signals in the brain. They pass information through tiny gaps, what we call synapses, between neurons as we experience an event. The surrounding neurons then begin to fire, forming a network of connections. Memory is formed through the strength and pattern of that connection. When neurons fire, memories are formed. The hippocampus is where the brain builds, creates, organizes, and stores memories. This tiny organ has a shape like a seahorse, which aids in the formation of short-term memories as well as the connections of memories with emotions and senses. The hippocampus is always at work converting our moment-to-moment experiences into memories, transferring them into a long-term permanent memory. It is located under the temporal lobe in the limbic system, which is near the amygdala. It is involved in learning and memory, and it connects with other areas of the brain. Every time children and adolescents experience and learn something, a unique pathway is created which makes the hippocampus function to recall the event. So, are you intentional about what your children are experiencing and learning from you? Through repeated experiences with our caregivers or parents, our brain creates the memories that affect our views of the world and how we parent our own children. The attachment styles we grow up with, though not our fault, we affect how we see ourselves and train our children. Our thoughts, emotions, and actions or behavior are often shaped by the past without realizing it. Do you know that the brain can encode memory without conscious attention? Memories of unresolved mental health issues might cause parents to be inflexible and unable to choose responses that are beneficial to their children's growth. Pre-existing and adverse internet experiences can create a challenge for intentional parenting. Remember that the same experience we are building and creating in our children now is also shaping their memories in the hippocampus for the future. Uninterestingly, negative experiences are easier to remember and replay. Even though some memories may be forgotten, but those memories will form part of their identities and knowledge, they are never completely gone. Let me say this: overstimulating children and adolescents with physical, emotional, and psychological abuse can result to a shrunken hippocampus. When the hippocampus is smaller than usual, there is a risk of poor stress response, lack of resiliency, inability to cope through difficult times, depression, anger, trauma, or other mental health issues. This can also affect their self efficacy, self identity, how they perceive themselves, and the story they tell themselves and others about who they are. The more positive memories and support children and adolescents receive from their parents, the larger and more developed their hippocampi are. The amazing fact about this hippocampus in the brain is that it can be positively trained, fed, and nurtured even when life is tough and trying. So let's look at how we can be intentional about nurturing positive memories in the brain of our children and adolescents for their emotional and mental well-being. Firstly, we need to pray. Prayer is the key. Secondly, stay connected with your child. Create a secure attachment style. It is essential for their emotional health and well-being. It determines how they handle situations as they grow. It helps them with positive perception of self. When listening to your children, make eye contact and listen to what is not being said. Be a positive role model. Model appropriate emotional and behavioral responses. Remember, what has been seen cannot be unseen. Discipline appropriately. Good sleep, healthful eating, and physical exercise. Affirm positive words to them. Encourage positive and pro-social behavior. Be open and approachable. Be mindful of what you share with your children. I will say this again. What has been seen cannot be unseen. Care for yourself and bring healing to your unresolved past. Get your values checked up. Are you living according to your values? Children and adolescents with larger, healthily built, and nurtured hippocampi have more control over their lives. As a parent, caregiver, or teacher, you are important in a child's upbringing. Your approach to guiding and influencing must be intentional. It is also important we instill in children gratitude, kindness, and compassion. When they recall, retrieve, and practice these values on a regular basis, they will act better, which will make them feel better now and in the future. Adolescence is a period that occurs between the ages of 10 and 25, and it is vital for the development of a stable and enduring self. With the brain remodeling, it is the phase that can be recalled most strongly and can influence their own view of the world. Let me say this to conclude. How we relate to our past can influence what we create in parenting. We have the opportunity and responsibilities as caregivers to support children and adolescent mental health. They learn more effectively from their experiences with you and their environment. They learn and form memories based on their everyday encounter and events. What are you building into your children and adolescent hippocampi? Whatever memory you are building and creating now, they will live in there and even make it bigger. Be deliberate in your parenting. Create what is vital for their well being and channel them in becoming what God intended for them to become. Till I come your way again next time, remember to be intentional. Parenting is a hard work. God bless you.